Welcome to Look Around Florida. I'm your host, Sean McFall, aka the Florida Man. I'm glad y'all could be here tonight. We have a stunning lineup of candidates that are running for various positions within the Florida Division SCV. Derek from Tennessee Division, welcome, buddy. Laurel Schultz, how you doing tonight? Laura Schultz is with the OCR Chapter 18 at Ocala, Florida area. So, Bobby Van Zandt from St. Pete, looking forward to seeing you Saturday night, buddy. So, we got everybody behind the scenes right now. Let me get this out there, even though I got my Lieutenant Commander David King in the house. I still want to cover all of us, just in case. Good evening, Roy Hudson. Let me get this out of the way. Well, it was a great weekend. Annette Lindsay's in the house, our president of the Florida OCR. Linda Hudson is in the house. She's on our Facebook. Delyn Anderson and Leon are watching on YouTube. Welcome, welcome. It was a great weekend Saturday night there in Cocoa, Florida for the J.J. Dickerson's Lee Jackson dinner. David King, Jeffrey O'Kine brought the wall. I mean, it was a phenomenal event. If you missed it, I'm sorry, but we have quite a bit of other Lee Jacksons coming up. So, ready, let's bring up our guests so they can announce what position in the Florida Division they're running for. We got Bob Highball, Al Massey, and David King. Go ahead, whoever wants to start.
Go ahead, Bob. You got the most important announcement.
All right, I'm Bob Highball, and I'm running for the Florida Division Adjutant.
Cool.
Next, or do you want us to just go straight into our bit?
Go if you want to go straight in your bit, that's fine.
Okay. So, all right, I'm running for Florida Division Adjutant, and some of the things that I would like to accomplish in that position is number one, I would like to streamline and make more efficient the dues payment process that we all run into when we pay the division dues. I would like that to be a little bit more automated. And, right now it's a donation, and then you have to send an email to the adjutant to say who we're paying for via that payment that we make as a donation through the website. I'd like to stream that a little bit, kind of like we do with the national, where you go onto the national website, you click the box next to the member that you're paying for, and then it all totals up. There's no way we can't be doing that. No reason we can't be doing that on the division site. So I would like to streamline that process and get that going. That ties into the second thing I'd like to do is to redo our division website so that it's more streamlined, can accept the payments, can keep behind the scenes on the database who our members are in a secure area so that our adjutants can log into that, make the payments for the members in their camps. We could file camp reports online through the website and do a lot of our other business. Like we can do a national, we can do that in our division website. So I'd like to redo our website, work with Bob Foley, also streamline that whole process and get that a little bit better. And then one of the third thing that I'd like to do as division adjutant is to do some in-person training for the camp adjutants and the leadership of the camps, is to go around to the different locales throughout the state and actually have in-person training. We talk a lot about how running our camp is like running a business, and not a lot of people have experience running businesses. There's a lot of us in the division that do have experience running businesses, and so I'd like to go around to the different, the 5 different commands in the area, in the state, and actually have one-day seminars and talk about how to keep us out of hot water with the state, with SunBiz, what we need to do there, what we need to do to keep us out of trouble with the IRS, the best practices on how to keep our camps running smooth, how to put a website together, free, cheap, and easy. So those are the 3 things that I would like to really push for as division adjutant. And so I would look for your support. I have a tech background, I've got a management background, and I think that this would all be a natural fit. So I look forward to your support.
Cool. Thank you, Bob.
You're very welcome.
All right, Al, you're up.
Okay. I'm Al Massey. I've been 10th Brigade Commander now. This is my 6th year. And I'm going to try to get elected to the Southeast Region Lieutenant Commander, which starts at Brevard County and runs all the way down to South Florida. I believe there's 10 camps in there. Of course, 5 of them are in the 10th Brigade. So we have some smaller camps. But, this is an important election year because just about everything is getting changed this year. Commander, adjutant. I think there's at least 3 people running for lieutenant commanders. So there's going to be a whole different direction. And these people, whoever gets elected, is going to be pretty much setting the stage for the next couple of years. I'm hoping to be able to take over from Roy Hudson and do as good a job as he's done. He's, like I said the other night, that's big shoes to fill. And we all wish Roy luck in what he's trying to do. And, but, my wife and I, we're retired and, we do like to travel. So we're willing to go to every camp. All you got to do is call, if you want us to do a presentation or just to come and talk to you about what's going on in the division. We'll be glad to do that and whatever we can do. And hopefully work along with these other fellows that will or will not get elected. And, hopefully we can steer a new future for the Florida Division.
Cool.
And that's about it.
Thank you, Al. All right, Dave, you're the big one.
No, look, I'm David King. Most of y'all on here, all you guys here with us tonight, obviously know me. I put my name hat to Saturday night to run for the Florida Division Commander this year. And these guys heard me talking Saturday night. I'm not a guy that likes the I word. Sometimes you have to use the I word, but I don't like that. I like to use the word we, us, because this ain't about David King. It's about all of us in the Florida Division, in every camp, and the SCV on a national level. I joined SCV in 2025 and basically sat in the back of the camp meetings and just watched how everything went along. Marion Lambert, who a lot of y'all know, he's one that signed me up into the SCV. And I just sit back and paid attention to how everything was done at the camp level and started going to division reunions to see how that was done, just to see what, how everything operated. And I became camp commander, I don't know, 10 or 12 years ago. It's been so long, maybe longer than that. And I was a mechanized cavalry captain for 13 years. And I'm not bragging, but I'm proud to say that for 13 years, the Florida Mechanized Cavalry wasn't the guys that are always in trouble with the SCV in Elm Springs. We handled whatever situations we had, we handled them here. We were a non-issue for the SCV. And after people talking to me and me talking to people and talking to my wife, I jumped out of the frying pan into the fire, but I'd be proud to be a Florida Division Commander. I'm still working. But I do travel. I make my own work schedule. And I go, obviously, I'm all over the state now, so nothing's going to change. And I don't have a problem being somewhere if somebody needs me to be somewhere. So I'd appreciate your vote and support in this matter. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you, sir. All right. If you don't, from myself, if most of you don't know, I am running for Lieutenant Commander of Southwest Florida. I've seen camps disappear. We need some, like Bob said, we need some training to be able to grow. So, yeah, plus communication from the top down. Uh, yeah, especially working with the lieutenant commanders, the brigade commanders, all the way down to the camp commanders, and Joe Blow sitting in the back of the room. So that's pretty much it for me. While we have David King, Bob Highball, and Al Massey, does anybody have any questions? Feel free.
Legitimate question, Sean.
Thank you. We do have Ray Easter in the chat.
I know Ray Easter's watching. He's been texting me for the last 10 minutes. And one other thing, while we're sort of going, let's say nationwide, Roy Hudson from Florida is running for Lieutenant Commander CIC at the national level. And anybody out there that's listening that can pass the word and can make it to Kentucky so you can vote for your camp, we would really appreciate anything you could do for him.
Ready. Just saw this one. Jason Boshears will be at the Florida Division reunion in June.
Yes, sir. In Ocala.
Do you want to elaborate on that, or is it too early for Bob?
No, I think we can officially announce that the Colonel Samuel St. George Rogers Camp 1865 in Ocala has been chosen again and is honored to be hosting this year's 2026 Florida Division reunion on June 6th at the Hilton Hotel again in Ocala. So in probably 2 or 3 weeks, we will have the website live again, and we can start opening up for registration and hotel reservations. Cool. And our speaker this year will be Jason Boshears for the banquet. So,
wow.
Yeah, it'll be another good time. So,
yes, sir.
More in the future, but we can officially announce that we will be hosting it again this year in Ocala. So.
Cool. Thank you for doing that, Bob.
And
your camp. Thank you.
Hey, Bob, do you think you're going to have a Friday night thing this year?
Yes, it'll be pretty much like last year. Friday night event, Saturday morning, the business session and the election, of course. And then Saturday night, we'll have the banquet and then a prayer breakfast Sunday morning. Yes, sir. So.
I guess Mike Reynolds has a question for you, Dave, or he's just giving you a hard time.
I can't see it, Sean. What's Mike got to say?
Who is cooking?
I think the motel's cooking, ain't they, Mike? I mean, Bob, we can't do like we used to do at the Hilton, can we?
No, unfortunately we can't. No.
Cool. David, did you want to talk about the Cal Cavalry Monument?
I'm going to be very limited on what I say, all right? We're going down to the Hillsborough County Cattlemen's Bureau Saturday morning at 9 o'clock, and I sent emails out to everybody. It's been blasted everywhere. There is an address on the information that was sent out, but when you Google map it, it comes up as a gravel road with a locked gate. Well, that's where we're going, behind that gate. That monument was taken out from Plant City. It sat in front of the old Plant City High School for years. I forget what year it was put in. And like everything else, the lovely mayor of Plant City, Florida, decided it had to go. So in the middle of the night, they took the monument. And the girls of the Cal Cavalry UDC chapter in Plant City took it down to the Florida Cattlemen's Bureau. That's where it's been installed and sitting. But the problem with it is down there, it's a nice place and it's safe, but nobody can see it because it's behind a locked gate. It's private, basically a private property. So with the Plant City UDC chapter and my wife and all the other girls, between them and the OCR, we've got possession back of the monument. So Saturday morning, we're going to go down there, and I think there's over 300 bricks, 150 of them were engraved by the original donors when the monument was first installed in downtown Plant City. We're going to remove those bricks, take them up to the Pioneer Florida Museum in Dade City, where we already have a 9-foot by 9-foot, 8-inch deep slab poured. Deliver the bricks, and during the week, one day during the week, and we're not going to make a big deal out of it. We're going to go down there. We got a guy with a crane. He's going to pick it up and either set it on my trailer or Larry Carpenter's trailer, and we're going to take it up to the museum and install it. And once we get the bricks and everything put back where they should be and everything's like it's supposed to be, we're going to have a rededication day at the museum, and it'll be permanently on display at the Pioneer Florida Museum in Dade City. That's where we have our camp meetings. My wife and her family's pictures are hanging on the wall in the History Museum, so she's got a lot of ties there. We're both members of the museum, so that's where it should be. If it can't be in downtown Plant City, that's where it should be, so where people can see it. It's in a very prominent spot when you walk out of the door. For y'all that have been up there at the actual museum, out to where all the houses and everything else is at, as soon as you walk out that back door, you're going to run into the monument. So we're going to be sort of low-keyed about it internally with everybody that's watching. But once we get it all set up, put it back together, then we'll have a big shindig for it.
Cool. Thank you for the update, David. Al, is there anything going on in your brigade you would like to talk about?
Well, the first of the month, I don't know how many of y'all know about the GAR Hall in St. Cloud, which is Grand Army of the Republic. It's a historic building. St. Cloud was basically marketed to Union veterans when they built it. So that's where they come up with the name Soldier City. And they built a big hall there. Well, all these years later, that hall was just sold. As a matter of fact, Chris Robertson, the mayor of St. Cloud, he's recently bought that. And he wants to turn it into he calls it Civil War Museum, both sides, not just Union. So the first weekend, it's the 1st of February, I think is a Sunday, and then it's the Saturday before. He's having a thing they call Civil War Days. And he's planning to make it an annual event, and he's looking for reenactors, people to come up there. There's a big open field right behind the old St. Cloud Hotel, and they're going to make an encampment there on Saturday. And then our camp is going to set up basically a recruitment thing there, and we'll have our cannon. They want us to fire our cannon, some throughout the day. And then Sunday, they're going to have a dedication of the building over there for what they're going to do with it. And of course, when we first talked about it, we said we hate to get involved with anything from the GAR, but it's not going to be just Union anymore. It's going to be Union and Confederate. So, we're kind of looking forward to that. And we had some flyers over there at the Lee Jackson thing Saturday night. I don't know if anybody saw them, but it's a good thing. I've had a few other people from other camps called, wanted some information. They're planning on coming. So it'd be a good little day trip for anybody to come over and check it out. He hopes to make it an annual thing.
Cool. Yeah, I did see that flyer. I did take a picture of it, and I did post it on Look Around's Facebook page. So if you guys want details on address, times, and all that.
And I've never been in there, but they tell me that JR Hall is actually very beautiful inside. Still decorated the way it was when they built it in the early 1900s. I think they had one fire there back in the early days and rebuilt it, but I think it's the same way that it's been since somewhere around 1911. And it should be a pretty good thing. The museum party's talking about. See, he keeps. We normally store our cannon. There's a military museum out West 192, and it's really a very good museum that starts off with the Revolutionary War and runs all the way up to Afghanistan and everything. And we've always kept our cannon there. We're not using it. Well, he's planning on moving every bit of the war between the state stuff over to St. Cloud to that museum. So I think it's going to be a pretty good thing, and we're happy about it because with our cannon there, every time we need it, we don't have to ride out in all that mess out in Kissimmee to get to it. As far as brigade events goes, the closest thing we've got is we had Chuck Westrup from J.J. Dickinson camp the other night asked us about going in on another black powder shooting contest, and so I'm going to try to get the word out to anybody else in our brigade that wants to come to that. Or as far as that goes, anybody can come. It'll be out at Triple M Ranch out there off of 441 south of Holy Paul. It's a nice range there. And that's about all I can think of right now.
Thank you, Al, for that update and everything. Oh, okay. I thought there was a question for Al or just somebody saying hi to Mike Reynolds. But yeah, so I was at the with Leon Arthur last night at the Cal Cavalry Camp in Arcadia. Happy to see those guys sworn a new member. So that's cool. I met the guy. He seems gung-ho and everything. A young guy, too. Proud of those guys. And they're talking about upcoming events, their cemetery cleanups, and their antique and Ron Jones, I know you're in there, and I can't remember the rest. The antique show, and car show. The camp puts out a big display. With the if they can get the wall again, they appreciate it. Wall set up, a lot of good information, displays, everything. They did get honored by the DeSoto County Historical Society. They sent them the Arcadia camp, a nice letter. I'm proud of those guys. Very proud of those guys on the work they're doing right there. Thanks, Ron. The tractor and car show. Proud of those guys and the work they're doing there in Arcadia.
They also just, I forget which cemetery it was, but Greg and Leon just put up another battle flag in the cemetery within the last couple of weeks down there in DeSoto County.
Yes, sir. I was joking with them last night. I call it Flags Across Arcadia. Just about every cemetery has a flagpole. They are venturing into other surrounding counties and doing the same thing where our heroes are laid to rest.
And we set a many headstone down there with them guys over the last few years too in DeSoto County.
Yep. Busy camp. Even though a lot of them are full-time with VFW, the Cattlemen Association, all that, they still have find time to take care of our ancestors that are buried throughout DeSoto County.
And we still have Donna keeps me stocked up on headstones. We've got, I think, about 6 or 7 headstones left in my shop, and she's got more on the way. So we get through this busy time of January with all the Lee Jacksons and stuff we have to do. It's I'll be getting out with the guys. I'll put it out to everybody. I don't expect somebody to drive from Tallahassee to help us set a headstone, but I'd like to keep everybody informed on what's going on, no matter what we're doing. And we'll try to get the warehouse cleaned up and get ready for the next batch coming in. They have slowed down a little bit. They're still sending them to us, but they slowed down a little bit. But Donna keeps on them, and they keep rolling in. So we're pretty good shape.
Yep. And yeah, my camp was honored to put that one in New Prospect Cemetery for Donna, one of her ancestors. It was pretty cool. Cool feeling when you know a veteran is linked to a family. Alrighty. Ask questions, guys. These 3 are not shy. They want to be here tonight.
You might get what you wish for there, Sean, asking some of these people on here that questions.
Yep. Well, most of them are OCR and SCV. We do have people from Louisiana, Tennessee, and Virginia watching from various different camps.
That Virginia's the one I'm worried about. Asking
Which one?
questions. Don't answer none of his questions. Just act like he ain't even there.
Hey, yeah, call me too.
But who else, Sean? Who else do you know that's running? You can
Jerry
mention
P.
their names.
Yeah, thank you for reminding me that, Dave. We do have Jerry Peacock. He's having some technical difficulties. He's running for Central Lieutenant Commander. I'm hoping to get him on next Wednesday. Same with Mark Best. Mark Best is running for re-election for the Panhandle, that area. The northwest area of Florida. That's as far as I know of. I haven't heard of brigade commanders yet.
It's still early in the year. We got time.
Yeah. Just trying to get our members the information out there. So if you are running for a division position, feel free to poke me. I will bring you on a scheduled day.
Yeah,
We
we definitely need to make sure that these brigade commander positions have somebody running for them, because generally there's a number of brigades that don't have anybody, and there's going to be a couple of vacancies opening up for the ones that are there now this year. So I'm hoping we can find people that are willing to run for those positions.
Good point, Al. Thank you. Oh, I just got this one. Bobby Van Zandt is running for re-election of the 9th Brigade Commander. Thanks, Bobby.
That's a good man.
Yes, he is.
Yep, and they're celebrating Lee Jackson Saturday night at the UDC house in Clearwater at 6:00.
Yes, sir.
Good bunch of guys in that camp. Stonewall Jackson's a solid camp.
Yep. If you remember where their charter celebration was in December, same location. They're at 3158 Gulf to Bay Boulevard, Clearwater, Florida. Their thing is from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. So come, get a little history, relax, hang out with your brothers and your sisters. Ready. Nobody's asking questions yet, so give them time. I'm sure they'll be poking you three.
Well, Sean, I think we talked about it a little earlier in this month's magazine.
Oh, good point.
Tony Griffin did a very good little article, I thought, more or less telling people why they should send delegates to these reunions. And I hope everybody reads that, and all the camps will start trying to send some, because really, we've pushed that in our camp for a long time. Unfortunately, I'm the only one that usually winds up going, but we've tried to get our members to go. And I think it's very important. And I've told them all this, that, if you're going to be in the SCV, everybody should at least plan to go to a national at least once. And anybody should be able to go to division reunions because it's close. And, I've told some of our members, for division, you don't have to make a whole weekend out of it. Come for the day. You can get there in the morning, go to the meetings, what have you, and then go home that night if that's what you want to do. But that was a good article. I enjoyed reading that, because I've talked about that so many times with our camp about how every camp should have delegates at the reunions. It's, if you don't have anybody there, you don't have a vote. Right?
Good point, Al. Good point. Yep, because our national leadership runs on pretty much our say and our vote.
Yeah, and this here is a major election this year at the division and national level. So, everybody that is interested should make it a point to try to be there, or definitely have some delegates from their camp. I always think it's kind of a shame every year at the division when they do the camp roll call, and there's a number of camps that don't have anybody there at all. It's, it's bad.
Yeah, we even offered. We actually passed a bylaw for the camp years ago that if you couldn't afford to go, that we would at least pay you. We would pay your restoration fees for the reunion, and then all of our guys live basically in the Tampa area, so you could drive up there in the morning, and we'll pay for your restoration, and you turn around and come home. If you want to stay, you stay. Whatever you want to do, we've even offered that. Al said you've offered it for the national reunion to help members get up there.
Well, our camp, we offer to help pay for a couple of guys to go, and we never get any takers. Like I say, right. I'm the only one that ever goes. But we did have two when we had the St. Augustine here a few years ago because it was close. Old Buck Branham went up there with me that time.
How's Buck doing now?
He's coming along. He's fixing to move. He's working on moving up towards I believe it's Live Oak. He's going to move up there with his son. His son's fixing him up a grandfather apartment, I guess you call it. And he's going to be leaving it. So he's been trying to figure out which one of the camps up in that area he wants to transfer into. I mean, we hate to see him go. Buck's a long time member of our camp.
Oh yeah, as long as I've been around.
He was the one that got me in, and for a long time, I kind of considered him to be sort of a mentor because I learned he was a past commander, and when I took in commander, he told me a whole lot of information because that's the thing too. When people take over those commander jobs, you don't really have a book that sits there and tells you what to do. I mean, I guess they have those classes nowadays that you can take online. But, most people, when they've joined as commander, they just kind of went in and hoping somebody will give them a few tips now and then.
Yep. That's what when I said about sitting in the back for a few years and just watching how it works out. Because we've had them in our camp. We've had a couple guys that come in, I mean, just balls to the walls, gung-ho, 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 and they get a position in the camp. And then basically what they do is cause a bunch of trouble and screw up a bunch of book work. And next thing you know, they're gone. You never see them again. And we got to dig out of that hole. I'd much rather see somebody that's been in the camp for, a couple years and showing up to the events, helping out, doing whatever we do, and then jump in and not come in, and try to be the chief, first aid or a member of the SCV want to run a camp. Because generally, from my experience down here, it don't work out too well for anybody.
Well, in a perfect world, you would, if you join a camp in a year or two, you would maybe become second lieutenant, right? And then kind of work your way up over a period of years, before you become the commander. But I know of a lot of commanders, especially even myself, who got drafted into it within the first couple of years. So, not to change the subject, but I just noticed on the comments, Ray Easter commented that Virginia pushing hard for Roy Hudson and Tony Griffin. That's great.
I did notice, I was waiting for you guys to get done. Chip, are you talking about the going to Division Union, National, or in general?
I don't know that answer right off the top of my head. How many camps are in Florida?
I think it's about 46. I believe.
That's a good adjunct right there.
Yeah, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Yeah, it's around 46.
Yeah, Mr. Tucker even joined us tonight. Thanks, Roy. Yep, 46.
Ta-da.
Oh, in general. Thanks, Chip. Hopefully that helps you out, Chip. Ready, guys, come on, let's keep it going.
I can run my mouth all day long and put a camera in front of me, man. It's like, well, I'll say what I got to say and I'm done.
Yep, pretty much same here.
I got to watch myself on the camera.
Yep. Hey, I did put the disclaimer up, so you're covered. That way I don't get a phone call from Calvin or higher ups.
Right. That will be all right.
Yep. Good point, Linda. Good point. Training is going to improve with the new guard being elected. Dirty Bitch, welcome. Sorry, Bob, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that I think it's important for every camp, and I think also not only on the camp level, but on the division level and on the national level, that you have a succession plan. You know, it's talked about a lot in the business world, but we need to be doing that in the camps so that we start seeing our younger members and we start training them so that we don't have that issue that a lot of camps have had where a guy's been the commander for, 5-10 years, and then all of a sudden he gets burned out and wants to bail and there's no one to take his spot. So we need to be training the new guys that, hey, you look like you might want to do this. Let's start training you on how to take over and developing their leadership abilities and training them on how to take over a camp. It's kind of important because we haven't done a great job of that, if we're honest with ourselves.
Yeah.
No, we're all guilty of that.
Yeah.
But you can talk about camp elections in different offices in our camp, and everybody's like this, hoping you ain't talking to me.
Yeah.
and you don't fall asleep at an SCV camp meeting because you'll wake up and you'll be a commander, so you better be alert.
Right.
Yep. We do have a question came in from our division chaplain, Kim Hoffecker. What is each of your opinion on keeping the Florida Division Union in Ocala?
I personally don't have a problem with in Ocala or that region. I like Tavares, Florida. I've put on a big event at Tavares, Florida, to mechanized cavalry, and it went off very well. I mean, these guys come in from all over the country for the weekend, and that was a success. It's been in Ocala ever since I can remember. We've changed motels, a couple of times, but I don't mind it being Ocala. I think our state constitution says centrally located in Florida, which generally that's about halfway between Leesburg and Wildwood on Highway 44, and there's nothing out there, so Ocala's close enough. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, if it's in Pensacola, I go to Pensacola, but a lot of people from down South Florida ain't going to Pensacola. That's just me. Wherever it's at, I'm going. So Ocala is about as good as you're going to get.
The charter used to say that it had to be in the central part of the state, but when we did the change where we made it that a camp had to do
Okay, that's right. You're right. That was a couple years ago. Right.
Right. When we changed it where the camp had to bid to get to host it, it was changed to wherever that camp is that wins the bid.
Right.
So I think my personal opinion is I think the central part of the state is logistically better because people don't have to travel that far. I mean, if we had it in Miami, the guys from Jacksonville and Pensacola aren't necessarily going to be driving to Miami, and then vice versa. Guys from the Miami area or Palm Beach aren't necessarily going to want to drive to Pensacola or Jacksonville. So it makes sense to have it in the central part of the state. Doesn't necessarily have to be Ocala. We looked at hosting it in Tavares this year, and there was some beautiful locations in Tavares that we liked. Financially, it just didn't work out for us to have it there, so we went back to Ocala. But Ocala itself isn't has to be, but I think the central part of the state, my personal opinion, is I think it works better for everybody involved. That's my opinion. So.
Yeah, for me, for as long as I've been going to division unions, I've always Ocala, coming from all the way down here in the Glades to Ocala, it's only a few hours, but it's central located for everybody within the state.
Yeah, I agree too. Ocala is a good area, or Tavares, anywhere around Central Florida. But at the same time, no matter where you have it, somebody's going to be inconvenienced.
Oh, yeah.
We're fortunate that, Ocala's only 100 miles from here, from where I live. But, if a camp like Bob Highball's camp's putting it on now, this is their second year. If somebody else took it and wanted to run with it and they were going to do it in Fort Lauderdale or Tampa or wherever, I would still go. I do prefer Ocala.
A lot of beautiful area up there.
And nowadays it's hard to find people that would even accept us to use their facilities.
Yeah, I was mentioning Roy Hudson the other night, that where they had the Lee Jackson event. They opened that thing up when they were cleaning up in there. That's a huge room.
Plenty of room.
That would be a good spot if somebody wanted to have one there. And it really wouldn't be that far out of the way for, people from Tampa. It would be real convenient from Miami and Jacksonville people just to run right up or down 95. Of course, it puts it kind of out of reach for the panhandle up in there, Pensacola.
That was a nice place.
You never know.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. When they were moving those shutters around and you were able to see, a lot of room.
I think that guy that was in charge of that room that night, it was helping the maitre d' or whatever you want to call him. I think he said they were expecting 300 people there that Sunday in that room. So it could hold us no problem.
Oh yeah, that's more than big enough. So it's a thought.
Yeah. I mean, there again, I travel. I mean, I travel at work, and I'm on the road all the time. So I don't care if it's in Pensacola, Jacksonville, wherever. But Ocala is good with me.
Yep. Yeah, read it.
Hope that answered Mr. Hoffnecker's question for him.
I hope so. Ron, to your question, I have not heard anything on the bus yet. As far as I know, everything is still, except for the bus. The bus is in the camp in Cape Coral has the bus, but the granite is being held by the city of Fort Myers. Last time I checked. Good question, Ron. Victor, I don't think Bob or David would approve on a division cruise.
Y'all go if you want to. I won't be on it.
Nor I.
Yep, same here. Kim said thank you.
We did a division cruise at the McCav in Tavares. We got on the
Delta Queen?
On the Delta Queen and rode around the lake there for about 2 hours and came back. So yeah, we have had one before.
Yeah, I tell you what, that was a fun time.
That's my extent of cruising, where I can see the land.
Well, Victor, are you volunteering to get the Delta Queen again? You came up with the idea.
I think Victor Smith mentioned Trenton being a great place, but not really for a reunion. It's nice to have that, though, to fall back on. And it's a great place. It's really kind of small and not much around there for a reunion. But like I say, it's good to have it if you have to use it for that.
If they had right there were 26 dead ends at 19 at Fanny Springs. They were building a big Best Western motel right on the Swanee River. And they got it about, I guess, maybe halfway built. And Daryl Rattery told me that politics got involved for some reason. and they never finished the Best Western. But they were supposed to have a big, massive dock out over the river. If they had completed that motel, that would have made Trenton a whole lot better.
Yeah.
Because when I go to Trenton, I go up there in the morning. I'm home that afternoon, but I miss most of the business takes place out in the parking lot anyway after these meetings. But I missed the Friday nights like we used to do at the old Holiday Inn. Mike Reynolds would bring his grill and we'd cook, and set up and have a good time on Friday night.
Good meals.
It was good times, but the times we're living in, I guess, fellas, we can do what we can with what we got to deal with.
I will say this: out of all the division reunions were a lot better than the old Ramada.
You're going way back now, Sean.
I know.
You're going way back now.
Yep.
I don't even know what that motel's called anymore. I'm up down there all the time working in. I don't even pay attention what it's called anymore.
Yep, especially when that semi truck tire came off and went right through the hotel. Oh, David, to your question about that hotel. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, I can see it. It'd be nice to get it done. It'd be really nice. That'd make Trenton a little bit better. Because you got to stay in Chiefland now, which is 15 miles away at the Quality Inn.
Yeah.
Or the Days Inn, there's only a couple of the motels there, but that'd be something to consider if they get that motel finished.
Hey, Sean, back in the 70s, I stayed at a motel there on Fort Myers, right on the river. It was called the Robert E. Lee Inn.
Yes, sir.
Do you know anything about that? It's not called that anymore, I'm sure.
No, sir. A lot of the stuff with the name Robert E. Changed. Like the Robert E. Lee Hospital in downtown Fort Myers, they dropped the Robert E. off of it and kept it Lee Memorial. Same with that hotel. That hotel has been flooded 3 times because of hurricanes. I believe it's a Best Western now. Part of it is, and the other part is apartments.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the Best Western then, Sean, but it's called the Best Western Robert E. Lee, right there on the river.
Yeah.
Right there, just over the bridge. What are you talking about, Al?
Probably in 1978. I really don't remember much about it. I remember it was nice, and I thought it was pretty cool that it was named the Robert E. Lee Inn back then.
Yep. Yeah, because I grew up just down the road from downtown Fort Myers, down there off of McGregor. There was a hotel right there the Kansas City Royals used to stay at. I remember seeing that, and downtown was kind of run down a little bit. The city of Fort Myers have made a lot of strides in downtown, other than taking down the Robert E. Lee Monument.
Al, I used to stay there back in the early to mid 80s. I used to do a lot of work down there in Fort Myers just because it was called the Robert E. Lee Inn, but it was the Best Western franchise.
Oh yeah,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
If you was on vacation now, where you saw a Robert E. Lee or a Stonewall Jackson hotel, that's probably where you'd stay.
Oh yeah.
That's right, Ron. It's still called Lee County.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't changed that in Dixie County.
They've been trying for years.
I remember back when all this mess started here back when, and I used to tell people, it's just a matter of time before they get to the Army bases, because I was born and raised in Columbus, Georgia, right there where Fort Benning is.
Yep.
And darn if they didn't get around to it, but now they've changed it back. Obviously, it's not named for General Benning anymore, but it's still Benning. And, I was up there between Christmas and New Year's, and they've already changed the signs back all over, on the expressway. It used to say Fort Moore, next exit, and now it's back to Benning.
That's cool. I haven't been up there in about 20 years. That's good to know, Al. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm up there all the time. As a matter of fact, the cemetery where one of my great great grandfathers is buried, General Benning, is right there in the same cemetery with him, and they have
Oh,
two Confederate sections in there, and they're hanging in there pretty good with it, maintaining everything in there.
yeah. Do you know what Fort Benning was called during the war?
What's that?
Do you remember what the base's name was during the War of Northern Aggression?
I do not.
Port Columbus.
Oh,
It
really?
wa Yeah, it was a Confederate depot. The reason I know that because my uncle retired at that base, and at the time he was living in Fort Mitchell. So growing up as a kid during the summertime, I spent a lot of time on the base, going to the museum there. It always talked about the history of the base, from being Port Columbus to I'm sure today, the name changes.
Yeah, it's Columbus is an interesting town still. They've got a very good museum there. That when they first opened, it was called the Civil War Naval Museum, and now it's just called. No, I take it back. It was called the Confederate Naval Museum when they first built it. Now it's called the Civil War Naval Museum.
Yep.
But
Yeah, they
you
had
know,
one. They had a cannon out back that they would fire certain times of the year.
yeah, right there
Uh,
over the Chattahoochee River.
yes, sir.
Yeah. And also, Fort Benning has a very good military museum, and they've got a pretty good Civil War, if you want to call it, section. If anybody ever gets to Columbus, those are two museums you really want to go see.
Yeah. From I've been keeping up with the information that's being put out from the base. Didn't they move the museum from being on post to right outside of post?
Yeah, the old one they had, I went there years ago. It was very nice too, but it was an old building, and they
Yeah,
built a very modern new building. It's still nice, but I actually prefer the old one better.
me too. Me too. I'll let David or Bob touch on that one. I haven't been keeping much up on Stone Mountain lately.
From what I know,
I don't know.
it's the Georgia state government that not holding up to their end of the bargain to take care of Stone Mountain. I know the last few. Oh my God, we went up there every year with the Metcalf, man, for years. There'd be 150, 200 of us in the motel that weekend, and we'd all go to Stone Mountain, and it was a big deal. I mean, a big deal. The lawn was full of SCV members, UDC at Metcalf, you name it, they were there. And I noticed a change about 6 years ago that the park itself had a totally different feel about it. The little entertainment area where they had the little restaurants and all that, it was all changing. I don't know exactly what's going on, but from what I see or what I hear talking to the guys up in Georgia, it sounds to me like the Georgia state government hasn't held up to their end of the bargain as far as taking care of that park. Because now you look at the side of the Stone Mountain now, it's almost black. It's hard to see like it used to be. And that's all I know about it.
I get the Georgia Division newsletter, and in the most recent one, they're talking about that our national has took up with them in the fight now.
Right.
Apparently, they've hired some high-powered lawyer to fight that SMMA, the Stone Mountain Memorial Association, and they made them. From what I guess, they took down the flags. If you ever walked up Stone Mountain instead of taking the trolley, they had one area where they had all the Confederate flags in a row, and I guess they've made them move that. They've made them quit selling the Confederate merchandise in the store and so forth. And they're fighting to get that put back because it is a memorial. It's not, and it was a Confederate memorial.
Yep.
The carving does look terrible. We were there, me and Sandy, 4 or 5 years ago. We went, and like David said, it's just black. It really needs some type of cleaning. I don't know how they could do it, but any camps that are involved in this kind of thing should think seriously about sending a little donation up to the Georgia Division. They have it on their website, how you could do it. And it's a good cause because they're attacking that thing left and right all the time. And that's the biggest Confederate memorial there is.
Yeah, they got. We used to be able to. We had to pay admission, which is fine, but we used to be able to get everybody to pay their money at the motel parking lot, and then we get on our bikes and we go to the gate, and whoever was in the front would hand them over, a stack of cash for everybody that paid, and we'd go on through there as a group. Last time I went up there, we were all in line like regular people. Everybody had to pay, I forget what it was, $10, $15 to get in the park. And trying to do anything they could for us not to be there. And so,
it is right there by Atlanta, and times have changed. Atlanta's changed, and so they're fighting hard to hold on to it the way it is. But I don't know how long it's going to last. I figured the wrong people get involved up there, and they're going to blast that thing right off the side of that rock. So whoever knows,
right?
Let's hope not.
George is digging in with both feet. I'll give them boys credit. They ain't going to go down without a fight.
From what I remember, Georgia has more of these suits and issues going on than any other state, and they're all over. Right there in Columbus, I think they're fighting to keep their Confederate memorial there in Columbus, and I'm surprised that hasn't gone already because that city has changed. You know what I mean? It's really changed since I lived there.
Yep.
But so far, they still have it down there.
Bob, you got anything to add? Anything?
Nope.
Wow.
He's got numbers going through his head. He's doing the adjunct thing. That's good. That's good. Keep it going, man.
Yep.
Well, before you sign off, I'd just like to say good luck to everybody who's running for any office, and hopefully the right people will get elected for the job.
Good group of people.
Yes, sir.
If it all works out, we'll keep the division running smooth like it has been.
Yep.
Florida Division has been a problem with nobody above us.
Yep. Just like our motto, division strong.
We'll keep it
Yes,
going.
sir.
All right. Before we wrap this up, any final questions or comments? We're getting ready to wrap it up. I want to take a moment to say thank you to everybody that came on tonight. Thanks, Ron, for that compliment.
Thanks for having us, Sean.
Yeah,
not a problem. Not a problem. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule for coming on tonight. I appreciate it. I'm sure our division members, SCV, OCR, and UDC appreciates it too. All righty. All right, guys. Next Wednesday, I got a couple more candidates that are going to be coming on. Hopefully, I can get Jerry Peacock squared away.
Good luck with that.
I plead the fifth on that question. So, hopefully, him and Mark Bass can come on. I'm going to reach out to the rest of the division leadership to see if anybody else is running. So hopefully I can get them on next Wednesday. But thank you all for the nice compliments. It's not me, it's these guys. Thank them for coming, taking time out of their schedule to be here to give you some information, the position they're running and why. All right. May God
bless. If anybody's got any questions, I'm not hard to get a hold of. You can give me a call.
Yep. David does answer his phone.
You can ask my wife. It's pretty much glued to my hip 24/7 between work and this.
Yep. I've been with David on projects, and his phone would go off for somebody to ask a question. So I can definitely testify to that. All right. To next Wednesday, guys, and ladies, may God bless you in your adventures this week. And have fun, stay Southern, stay out of trouble. Till next Wednesday, have fun.
My name is Nelson W. Winbush. I'm a member of the Jacob Sumner Camp 1516 Sons of Confederate Veterans. My reason for joining the Sons of Confederate Veterans after the NAACP declared they would destroy and remove everything Confederate in 1990, I decided that I would do all I could to make sure that people understood what the Confederacy stood for.